Broadcasting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, you're listening to The Low Blow on swfight.com.
Jorge Hernandez with The Low Blow in Southwest Fight News, here with Jackson's MMA fighter, Conrad Padilla.
Thanks for having me, Guillermo.
Thank you. Son of a bitch. You have to go gear on me.
You remember that, dude? That's still my favorite story, man.
That's a terrible story.
Yeah.
All right, so Saturday, August 10th, you're the main event here at Jackson's MMA. You're fighting Nick Rhoads. Your first main event. Is this ever amateur, pro?
No, man. Yeah, this is my first ever main event. I mean, I was co-main the last card in December 1st by default, and that was only because the original co-main event came in 15 pounds heavy, so they scratched it and moved me up. Now so that's as close as I've ever been to being main event.
Despite that, though, on the cards that you've actually been on, whether it's co-main or even on the regular undercard, you have a pretty big following. What type of attendance do you expect to come out for you here Saturday, man?
Well, I've actually sold. I've sold over 100 tickets myself, and I'm expecting a whole lot more ticket sales at the door. Guys, I mean, I grew up here, and I got a lot of friends here, and everyone keeps saying that they're going to support me, and I expect to see everybody there that night, because this is something special. This isn't just me on another card. This isn't me on just another fight. This is the main event, and I may never be the main event again, so I'd like to see everybody out there as much as possible,
You're 4-0. The last 2 years, you've only had 2 fights, though. How difficult has that been? And, firsthand, I guess you've seen what the sport of MMA can actually be and trying to get a fight scheduled.
Right. It's been slim pickings for me to get fights. I'm pretty happy that this one is 8 months later rather than a year and a half later. It's shaking off that not so much the ring rust, because I'm still in here training quite a bit, but it's just the adrenaline dump you get from being in the spotlight. A lot of guys say, oh yeah, I can fight. Really? You can do that in front of 3,000 people with nothing but, a spotlight on you as you're walking to the cage and everyone's yelling, go kick his ass, or you suck, and then you get in there with a complete stranger. I think that's the part that's the hardest for me to get over. And the more I fight, the more relaxed I get. And it just finally gets to the point where it's go time. Step up and perform and do what I do.
You talk about the spotlight. Besides being a main event, besides that pressure, I guess, there's also the pressure of the Apex MMA gym, which Nick Rhoads belongs to, who has a pretty good record against this gym.
Right, yeah. Right now, I believe that they're sitting 3-0 against us, and I plan on stopping that Saturday night. I mean, the kid's tough, but I don't think he's ever fought anybody like me. I mean, I'm going to jump in there, I'm going to push the pace, I'm going to be in his face, and I just keep moving forward. I hit a lot of angles. I hit a lot more angles than a lot of his opponents that I've seen. His last fight was in March, but, my last fight was in December, so, we had about the same time off, so we'll see who shows up and steps up.
Yeah. Also, you talk about being from New Mexico. You're a native New Mexican headlining a card. Highland High School graduate. And,
that's right.
You were only 17 years old when you actually joined the Army. What was that like?
That in itself was a lot of pressure. When I was in basic training, I called home and I told my dad, I said, I bit off a big chunk. It's time for me to grow up pretty quick. So I didn't get a lot of play time right after high school. It was graduate in May, basic training in June, graduated basic training. I was still 17 years old when I graduated and went to jump school. Got stationed in North Carolina, and I thought, you know what, man, it's big boy time. I'm over here with a loaded rifle, throwing live hand grenades, driving, $100,000 vehicles, and just learning a lot of responsibility. And it was like shoveled right at me. I just had to grow up just like that, just that fast.
I mean, not everyone can handle the physical or mental demand that something like that holds. So was it an easy transition for you to jump into MMA, or was it something totally different?
Oh, definitely. I mean, the discipline for just working out in general came from Coach Chavez back in '96 as our first varsity head coach at Highland High School. And then all through basic training, the discipline, through the all my years in the military, just being responsible. And now it's like really easy for me because I'm a grown man and I know what my responsibilities are. I have a family. I'm not doing this to be cool. I'm doing this because I enjoy it and it's keeping me young. And I tend to freak out when I'm not here. So it's become definitely a daily routine, and I got that discipline to be here every day as much as possible.
Yeah, you say you enjoy it, but it's not a full-time job. You have a successful, career that holds you down, owning a barbershop. Now, is this MMA thing, you're 4-0, man. Is this something you're ever thinking of taking 100% serious, or are you cautious?
I've been taking it 100% serious 8 years ago when I first started. I was pretty heavy, and all this hard work that I put in, it wouldn't be right for me just to walk away from it now. Dropping from 215, fighting at 145 as a professional now, starting my amateur career at 155, and I'd like to see about moving down to 135. And if this, if my career blossoms, then yeah, I'll definitely take this show on the road and run with it for sure. And I just gotta apologize to all my customers when I'm not there at work. I'm sorry, guys, but you guys aren't getting just the average barber who just wants to be there from 9 o'clock till closing. I got a lot of things going on as well, and I just want to make you guys proud. That way you guys can say, hey, that's my barber up there kicking some ass.
Do you feel that overall, though, you have a pretty good respect, despite the fact, because you guys are so well respected in the community? Do you feel, do you get the love even though you're gone a lot of the time?
I've lost a few customers,
yeah.
And they get pretty upset and they say, well, you're never here. And I'm like, well, hey, man, I got a solid crew at my shop. Kathy's been with me for 8.5 years. Alton's been with me, I want to say 6.5. JJ, his career is just starting. He's two years into it already, and it's gone by fast. And like I said, I got a solid crew, so if I'm not there, I trust any one of those guys, and you guys should too. And and like I said, I've lost a few. They stopped going, and hey, if that's the case, don't you dare say, hey, that guy used to cut my hair. You just don't even claim me no more if you stop going, because I'm doing this to represent my shop, and I'm doing this to represent my customers as well. It's not just for me.
By the way, Albuquerque, the magazine's deadline for the best of went down the other day, and I voted for you guys. So they got to show some love sooner or later.
Hey, we appreciate that, but I think all that's rigged. Come on, you're gonna go on the internet and vote, and you can only vote one time. Yeah, sure, but there's a couple barbershops I've seen on there. I'm like, that ain't possible. That ain't possible.
Finally, a message to all your fans, man.
Message to everybody, thank you guys for all the love and support. I'll keep doing this, you guys keep going out there. I want to give a shout out to Liz Pohl, Total Body Balance, Mark Hoffman, Czar Horton, Charles Bustos, Ryan Nazari, Lisa Vargas at Fire Bells. Thank you guys for all the love, all the conditioning. Thanks for helping me get my core down. Jackson's Gym, Jackson's MMA, all my training partners. And Conrad's Barbershop, Kathy, Alton, JJ. I love you guys. I want to say hi to my wife, Patsy. She's got me and Bubba McDaniel down on our diets. She's been cooking great for us, and so I want to give her some love and say thank you.
What's that friendship like with you and Bubba, man? We see you guys around town all over the place.
Man, me and Bubba have been tearing it up, and I love that guy. And I've even told him, thank you for making me slow down, because I'm just so used to being on the go. I have my day already regimented, like, okay, here's my schedule, and this is what I gotta stick to. And I'll pick him up, we'll go to lunch. He goes, we're going to a movie tonight. And I'm normally like, nah, I'm not going to a movie. And my wife's like, well, maybe we should, go. And so now it's like, he's become my adopted little brother, man, for sure. And he's at the house hanging out. We've been watching fights together. He gives me a lot of good advice. He's been watching me spar, and he keeps telling me, he's like, you know what, man? He goes, you need to stick to your game. Don't let no one tell you anything different. And he's worked his way into our family, and we've accepted the boy. Him and my wife are both Texas people, and I guess we can claim them.
Finally, Conrad Padilla against Nick Rhoads, August 10th at the Tingley Coliseum. Best of luck, man.
Thank you very much, Chavo. I appreciate it.